Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and today inspiration hit, and we're going to do a very snatched but natural look inspired by Raja. So if you would like to see me put that together today, I hope you'll stick around, hang out, and let's jump into it. All right, first of all, hi to everyone that's new. I cannot believe it. Kaki said such sweet words in her recent video about me, and so many of you came over and joined, and I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome. If Kaki brought you to my channel, let me know down below. I love her so much, and it cracks me up. Everyone is saying that I have a calming voice. I have never considered myself calming before, so that's new. But today I wanted to sit down, say hi to everybody that's new here, and also I was catching up on RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 7, Which One Does, and Raja's confessional look has really just, she looks stunning in the whole entire season, but her confessional look was so interesting because it looks like it is like a full beat, but very natural, and she leaves the lashes bare, and I want to try that. I have never tried that. So I have all of my stuff here in front of me. The look is very bronzed, so I've got like a bunch of base products here that we might make a cocktail of something, and she also is very bright under the eyes, kind of in a typical highlighting pattern. So let's make some decisions. I usually go for the Causemetics CC cream when I want something full coverage, but I think the NARS will give me that once I get some of the concealing done. And I might mix a little bit of the Fenty Body Sauce and Pearl Swirl 01 with the NARS and the Mont Blanc. This is the light reflecting foundation. So we might mix these together, but she also has like this beautiful blurred quality about her. So I'm gonna go in with the Auric Lust Glow and Morganite, and I'm just gonna take a touch and just do the tops of my cheeks. And honestly, we could probably get the same effect at the very end with the Phytosurgeons, but I want to build some of that like under the skin radiance. And I'm just going to pat that in along the top portion of my cheeks and let that sink in for just a second. Another product that would probably fare well to this is the Beauty Face Glaze. I don't want to be super dewy, which might be a struggle for me because all of my bases are dewy. So I'm just going to pump some of the NARS on the back of my hand and like the tiniest bit of the Fenty, just one pump. This is going to be more than I need for my face, but it's going to give me wiggle room to come up with a more bronzy look. We'll see how scary that is. It's still my skin tone enough. It just has a hint of bronze. And I'm gonna go in with, this is actually a Pro Angled Cheek Brush from Beauty Pie, but I've really been loving it for foundation because it's not as tightly packed as their Seamless Buffing foundation. So it lets me kind of like, it lets me apply less product and blend it out, which I really like. I typically do not leave my hair down. I am just out of the shower, and I am not just out of the shower, but recently, and I have to take Frank to the vet today. For all of you who are new here, I'll pop a picture up. This is Frank. He is a Brussels Griffon pup, and he's getting his blood work done today in preparation for the big snip. I know. I'm a little worried about it. If anyone has any like game changer tips or products for the recovery process of that, please let me know down below. I can imagine it's going to be very interesting trying for my husband and I both to, we're gonna have to take off work, I think, at least the first couple of days. All right, there's the base. You can see I'm quite dewy, but I do have the coverage that I want for this. And next we're gonna go into concealer, and I know that the rose ink is going to give me the full coverage that I need, but I think I might add a smidgen of the Vision cover from Danessa Myricks because I have it in too light of a shade for me. I have it in N01 and I have the rose ink in 010. This is brightening, but much closer to my skin tone than this one is, so I think we might have to brighten up with this. Also, let me know if you have been watching this season of All Stars, because it's so good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my typical under the eye and on the eyelid, because it doesn't look like there's anything on Raja's eyelids. I'm not going to take it down in a triangle, although it does look like that's what she did. We're going to play around and see if I can avoid that and just use kind of what's left over, because this Rose Ink Concealer a little bit goes a very long way, as you can see. And that actually might be brightening enough, especially with that added body sauce in there. So I'm going to take it under my eyes, and you saw me, I'm going to drag it down a little bit, but we might end up adding a little bit more brightness here. I just don't want to go in too heavy with that rose ink, because it can get a little overwhelming pretty quickly. And this is, I'm not used to highlighting my face like this. Even when it was like all the rage, the most I did was a lot of brightness under the eyes, similar to what I do now. Over the years, I have kind of like made the area that I conceal in here smaller and smaller, just to try to prevent creasing. We've talked about it, I have the anatomy, it's going to crease. I'm gonna go right beside my nose. She's very bright, kind of in the traditional spot, so I'll do a little bit there on my chin, and then I might wait to cut my cheeks after I've put my bronzer on. But I've noticed, like, instead of doing this whole area, sometimes it helps to just focus it close to the nose for me. But we're going all in. We're going all in. If I look crazy for the vet, Frank does every time we go in. He looks crazy, so I feel like they won't be shocked. I'm gonna bring it up because she is very, like, snatched, even though there's no eyeshadow. Okay. I am so not used to doing my makeup. This is a lot more makeup base-wise than I typically do. Like, I spot conceal, but it's mostly these areas where I have breakouts. But see, we might need to go brighter. I don't know. I'm not used to this, but I was so inspired. We have to try it. I am gonna blend that down into my cheeks a little bit, because we'll darken this area back up with blush and bronzer. And I guess technically I should be doing, like, I'm wiping this off because this is very potent. I'm going to do a couple of dots down my nose. Who am I? Having an identity crisis, but I think the finished product's going to turn out really nice. I usually don't use that much of this. I am very perfected, shall we say. I am very tempted. I'm going to take a pump of the Danessa Myricks on the back of my hand. This is all I'm gonna need. My detail brush is like so dirty. I'm gonna grab a small concealer brush. This is like an old MAC Holiday 242 SE, meaning special edition. And I'm going to try to, like, really pinpoint some of the highlighting. Am I highlighted? My thought process is this will add another layer of brightness, like in a smaller pinpointed area, because she's so brightened. And I am going to take this right underneath and work up. I'm going to try to avoid my crease. But then it looks weird to me because right under my lash line tends to get very dark because of the shape of my eyes. So I am going to bring that up. And I'm going to tap on that a little bit. I'm trying to determine, I do think that that brightened it a little bit. Do the same on this eye, and then I'm going to have to set. I'm trying to determine which powder. The Westman Atelier looks the best on my skin, so I'm going to start there. But she does look quite satin matte, so we might have to bring something in that's a little bit more mattifying. Ooh, she is perfected. Oh boy, oh buddy. We're going to start with the Westman Atelier in translucent, but if that's not quite what we're going for, then I'm going to bring in the big guns, aka, what is the big guns? Hourglass setting powder, which doesn't get any use for me, so it might be a good time to bust that out. I'm only setting the areas that I just highlighted because we are going to go in. Does that look strange? Maybe all of those layers don't play well together. We'll find out. I usually can trust these products. Am I snatched? And I am setting the lids because, like I said, she does not have anything on the lids. We are gonna add dimension though, because she has quite more hooded eyes than I do, and I want this to look not like a blank slate face. I want it to look similar to her look where she just looks, I mean, you can tell she has makeup on. She's very perfected, but it's like very low-key perfection. And I think that powder's enough. We'll see towards the very end. I don't want to be super matte. I really packed it on there. But it's still, I mean, all those products, this is a lot of product, and it's the best that that much product has ever looked on my skin, to be honest. And once we hit it with setting spray, it's over. I'm gonna do brows next. Now, I am not committed enough to shave the half of my brow to make hers is much straighter, and that helps with that lifted, snatched appearance. Like I said, I'm inspired. I'm not recreating, so I'm going to do my brows pretty much how I normally do. And it's so interesting because she pulls this off so well. She has a strong brow in this picture. And like I said, very perfected base, but her eyes are completely blank, but somehow it works and she looks so gorgeous. So I'm so curious to see if at the end of this I feel happy enough with the look that I don't need like even mascara. That's wild to me to like, I'll go without mascara, but it's traditionally with like a very low coverage base, like very, very minimal. Like that Salt New York video that I did. But even with the Salt New York video, like I wanted to, you know, amp it up for some meetings. I had to throw on mascara. I have such light lashes, I'll look down, that might help, that you cannot see them from afar. And I do not like looking like I have no eyelashes. Just not that confident without lashes. I think because I have such heavy, kind of puffy eyelids too, I don't look as healthy. And I'm just gonna set that with brow gel, just my normal brows, but strong. They're gonna look strong next to nothing on my eyes. I wish I was committed enough to shave my eyebrows off, but that means I would have to draw them on more often than I do, and that sounds like a lot of work. And I'm just blending. That front portion got a little wonky, so just blending that with the clean spoolie brush and then reshaping. I'm happy with that. I'm going to blend this side. It looks a little blocky. Still a little blocky, but you know what? Bold brows, we're going for it. All right, for bronzer, I pulled out a couple of things, honestly, because I think it's going to take a mixture for me to achieve similar to her on my skin tone. I pulled out the Gucci Soleil. What has happened? I think I just stroked out. This is the Poudre de Beauté Eclat Soleil 01. Very rosy bronzer. And then I pulled out my Patrick Ta, she's statuesque. I love this. It also has the contour that I'm going to use today. But I also grabbed the Balm Desert Blush because this might be the blush that we wear. I'm between this and Phytosurgence because I want it, there's no like pink on the cheeks. It's just very bronzed, very contoured. And that's what we're trying to do today. So I'm going to go into the Patrick Ta Statuesque. This is so gross because I'm like, I can feel it. The pan is about to be hit. I'm going to use that first and just chisel out the cheeks. And I'm going to be really careful not to go too low. What is that? I told you this pan is so gross. I should attempt to clean it. I'm going to keep it up higher so you can see my natural shadow here. You can definitely see it when I turn to the side. I don't want to, I'm almost trying to hit the top half of that shadow to keep it high and snatched. And then I'm going to do the temples and the outer edge of my forehead. And I am going to go under the chin because we're going to cut that cheek in. Also, let me know, who's your favorite from this season? It is so hard for me to choose because some of the queens have been like favorites since the very beginning. Like since I first laid eyes on them. Trinity, the Viv, like instant favorites. Trinity is the funniest ever. I just love her so much. I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. brush. I don't even know if they still make this, a stipple brush, but this is another affordable one that I really like. I mentioned it in another video. Alana Davidson came through with this recommendation and it is a really nice brush. Do I look very contrasted? I think so. Yeah, I'm getting excited. And I'm also trying to keep this high. We're going to cut this in, but we're also going to add what looks like more than I need because I'm going to hit the nose. She's very bronzed. She also has a very beautiful skin tone and I'm very fair, so we're also making up a tiny bit of that, but not to the point where I look crazy. Sorry, hair's everywhere. I have that down. I'm going to go in with the Gucci now just to add some of that rosiness because that's more of a natural tan for me. This is one of those looks where she looks like natural, but it took her an hour to do it. I love the meme of her where it's like, why do I have to do anything fast? Preach. I look so not how I normally look. I'm going to run over everything with just an Ego Tools fluffy brush. This one is super old and just kind of meld everything together. And then now I'm going to go in with a little bit of that Vision Flush because that was very, you need the tiniest amount, guys. Like I didn't even use half of what was out earlier. It's nuts. I'm going to pick a little bit of that up and we're just going to kind of cut in this cheek. Most of the places, like right here is where I need to focus on cutting, back here and right here, because that's where like this area for whatever reason tends to stay bright. This area I tend to start blending down a little bit because I love covering my whole cheek. So basically from the corner of my mouth moving back to that cheekbone, I'm going to highlight there. Do the same over here. Just going to draw that line and blend down and up just to clean that up. And really blend right here because I don't want it to look like I drew a line on, even though I did. Okay, we might have to go in for more bronzer. Who am I? And also I need to make sure that I'm like super blending up by my hairline. I'm like gonna really get in there. I look kind of nuts. Is this gonna come together? I'm gonna take that bronzer and I'm going to build some dimension back into my crease. I almost forgot I wanted to do that, but we need a little bit more dimension on these very, very blank eyes, and that might help. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go in with even more of that with a fluffy brush. It honestly looks like she did too, but in order to not make my eyes look like I completely just forgot about them or ran out of time, we are gonna do that, and I'm going to add a touch on the outer corner as well and blend it towards the center. And the other thing that I want to do, I think it's starting to come together now. I also want to keep my inner corner bright because she's, like I said, very snatched, very highlighted, and I think that that's going to help with how deep set my eyes are and also bring more dimension to them so it doesn't look completely out of place. Trying to make sure I'm not grabbing any of my brushes that are like loaded with glitter right now. Hi, if you're new here, we're going through a very intense glitter stage. Going in with the white from the Hindash palette, and I'm just going to bump up the inner corner and blend into that bronzer we laid down. Yeah, I think this is what's going to bring it together, because although the eyes are going to be blank without mascara, you need to build back some dimension after you completely blank out your face. Oh, that made such a huge difference. Okay. I'm wondering if I should go thicker on the eyebrows. Let's do it. Let's go a little bit thicker on the eyebrows. I know I already put that brow gel in, but since they're like one of the only done things on my face, I want to make sure that they're also very perfected without being blocked. And I'm just using much lighter pressure on the outside to really block in the outer. I'm using a little bit more pressure. Yeah, I think that that's gonna help. You guys are learning in real time with me, like how to do a look like this. Also, I really wanted to call this natural and thought like, I'm so clever. Supposedly, after a quick search, Mario from Makeup by Mario, or no, not Mario. I'm getting celeb makeup artist confused. Scott Barnes supposedly coined that term, but his natural is like the eyes are like totally done. This is like snatchural to me, where like you look like you have microbladed eyebrows and perfect skin and a nice bronze with beautiful highlights, but you still look natural because you don't have any eyes or major lips on. So you tell me, if you heard the word snatchural, are you envisioning like a glam eye, or is it just something like this? Let me know. Or is it something totally different? Could be. I want to make sure my eyes are blended, and I'm going to go back into the, see look, I have so much of that Vision Flush left over. You need the tiniest bit. I'm going to go back into the Westman Atelier powder, and I'm going to just make sure that my eyes are blended, because you don't have mascara to hide any of your sins in this look. I'm also going to touch under the eyes just to help with that creasing a little bit more. Okay. I think that I'm going to go into lips now. We're going to use the Fitglow Beauty in Nude. I have such a time trying to find the right color. That seems to be a good one for me. Like more pink than I would realize. And let me just say, I do not think that Raja has lined, but I also think there might be a little bit of filler. I would never call a queen out, so maybe there's not. She just has very much more pouty, voluptuous lips, so I'm gonna go a teensy bit over on the outer part of my upper lip, which I never do. But this lip liner for me is fine. It looks like my lip. And the gloss that we're gonna use, I think will blend well. I'm just doing normal on the bottom. Not typically an overliner whatsoever. And you can see my lips are in such a dry state right now. In the picture, it looks like they're also satin matte with like iridescence. I'm so curious what's on her lips. One of the options would be something like the Olivia Palermo lip balm. I thought I grabbed clear, but I grabbed the Lychee shade. It's pretty sheer. We're gonna do that because this lip balm will blur your lips. Yeah, and you could just go like this. Am I Raja? I feel very snatched, but natural. I'm not using Snatchel. Snatchel's not gonna happen. I'm actually gonna leave that on top because I want some of that iridescence. I'm not gonna rub like a powder, but I think you could. That'd be really cool. I'm gonna go in with the Fitglow Lip Serum in Beam, which is this clear gloss with like silver and gold shimmers. Oof. But these, I'll put it on first. These are shiny, but they're not like vinyl lips. They feel like vinyl lips, but they're not vinyl lips. They're shiny, don't get me wrong. There we go. The lip plump effect. Ooh, you know what else would work really well with this? First of all, let's breathe, Rachel. She's so inspired. I love this, and I do feel comfortable without lashes, which is insane for me. I think the brows help. I think building dimension in the eye helps. Am I ready for a confessional? I feel super snatched. I am gonna use a little bit of Fix Plus just because I am not used to wearing this amount of makeup on the face, but oh buddy, I used to. Maybe I'll insert a photo from college. I was like a full coverage, damn near drag queen myself, just to go to class. Oh, see, that feels so good. I'm not used to wearing that much makeup, and these products are all lovely, but you saw I was layering. It can be a little intense. I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna grab the next lip that I think will lend super well to this look, and my favorite lip that makes me look like I've had injections, even though I'm too scared to do so. I just did a hair flip and got vision flush in my hair. This is what happens when you get too excited about makeup. Okay, the Fix Plus might have made me a little bit more dewier than I should be for this look, but I'm not super mad at it. Also, what is happening to the lighting? If you're in Pittsburgh, don't ever use natural lighting for filming. It's so annoying. Because it's so overcasty, it's gray all the time, and it's so inconsistent. Okay. Mind my lips. I might have to do something about this as I just sit here. Okay, maybe not. We're towards the end. It is Glaze Number 6 from N Beauty. This is like a clear gloss, a kind of almost milky white gloss, but it has duochromes that are like blue, pink, and gold, and it makes the lips look so juicy. You'll kind of see what I mean about that Fitglow. This is definitely shinier. And it smells like a Girl Scout mint chocolate chip cookie. Thin mint. Okay, the clouds are really fighting me, so I apologize, but we're towards the end. I really like how this turned out. Very snatched, very cut in. and I ended up not using blush because like I said, there's no like color on the face. It's just full coverage, bronzed and cut, lifted. I didn't lift as much. I probably could go back in if I wanted to with concealer and kind of cut this a little bit more, and also kind of tried to do my eyebrow out a little bit further. But I like this. I feel comfortable in this. It is much more coverage than I typically wear, but it's so fun, and I don't feel totally out of place. Like, it kind of looks like, you know, I've really perfected brown skin and a nice juicy lip, and I feel comfortable going to the vet in this. I hope this was fun. Major shout out to everyone new here. Hi, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. I never set a goal for myself. I just wanted to talk to people about beauty and fashion so I could stop harassing my family and friends who don't really care as much as I do. So yeah, I'm so happy you're here. I hope you have a great day. I hope this inspires you. I hope you're watching All Star Season 7 and it is inspiring you. I would not be surprised if I kind of build more looks around some of that. And also, get ready because my background is going to be a change-in. I have noticed that the color of my wall, which is like, it's called oyster white, and it's so true because sometimes it looks green, sometimes it looks tan, yellow, gray. It really kind of morphs with the light, but that doesn't make for a great YouTube background because then it looks like my coloring is quite off, but I am very true to color on screen. But I have always planned on wallpapering this wall, and I think it's coming in today. I don't know how long it'll take me to put up because I'm a newbie, but I'm so very excited. I have essentially built my whole office around this wallpaper, and the fact that it is here, so excited. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day. If you are not subscribed, join the party. Everyone seems to be joining the party, so why aren't you? I know a lot of you that watch my channel are not subscribed, so hit the button down below. Hit the bell notification if you'd like to know when I upload. It is typically Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern, and I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, have a loving day. Bye.